days until my legs go numb. Till I go numb.
Hey guys, it's Tiffany. What is freaking up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. We are doing my August bullet journal. I know. I'm so sorry. I keep telling myself I'm gonna post a bullet journal video before the month starts, and right now it is July 30th. There's no way I'm gonna get this video up before August 1st. I am so freaking proud of this month's bullet journal spread. I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek, but you have to watch the entire rest of this video. So I am doing a very spiritual theme. I feel like there's just been a lot of bad juju happening for 2020. I think it's time that we have some good luck in our lives. And honestly, August is a weird month. Hopefully this bullet journal inspires you guys to have good vibes and good energy. I know it's so easy to bring about negative energy, especially during COVID right now, but I think it's time that we're all supportive and positive. Also, I am starting a new bullet journal. This is from Archer and Olive, and I'll link it down below for you guys. They're not sponsoring today's video. I just wanted to show you guys that I'm starting a new freaking bullet journal because my last bullet journal from January to June has been completely filled out. So yeah, if you guys like these videos, make sure you guys thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, I am starting a Patreon finally. I know I talked about it in my last bullet journal, and it's official. Your girl is starting a Patreon. So if you guys want to follow me, go follow me on my Patreon account, and I'll have definitely exclusive videos that only you guys get to watch. And I'm also going to be sharing a lot more of my creative process on how I start my bullet journals and things like that. And I don't know, I just wanted it to be a safe spot for all of us. We're gonna start a Discord. I want to like message all of you guys personally. I just want to be in contact with you guys in a better way, and I'm just really excited for this Patreon. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Woo! Let's go. Alright guys, so today I decided that I'm going to be filming my bullet journal setup voiceover a little bit differently. If you guys are curious about any of the products that I use and my new bullet journal that I'm starting, I'm going to have all the information down below. But as you guys know, if you guys have been following me on my journey throughout YouTube, over the last year, I have been talking about starting a podcast. So I wanted to do something a little bit special for this bullet journal and kind of just pretend that this is my first mini podcast series, I guess. For me, bullet journaling is so therapeutic, and also just talking with my best friends is so therapeutic. And I feel like being a YouTuber, it is so hard for me to open up to you guys. I try to open up to you guys when I'm vlogging, but there is this kind of wall between me and you guys in the sense where there's nobody to talk to. I can't really conversate very well. I have my keywords that I say that are like, what's freaking up? And oh my god, this is so cute. But on an everyday basis, that is not how I talk. I feel like I'm a lot more chill, and I feel like every YouTuber can relate where their personality is kind of turned up a notch to be about 25% more than they really are. And I feel like that is so true with me, and I feel like an imposter because I know when someone meets me in real life, I'm not as bubbly or outgoing as it seems online. And I think that's just so normal for all of us. My friends will be like, hey, I watch your friend Lauren, or I watch your friend Mia. Is that how they really are in real life? And it's so weird to be like, that is them, but that's not them at the same time. And I feel like that's the same thing with me. So I really want to start a podcast. I'm still struggling with a perfect podcast name, and I've come up with so many great ideas, and unfortunately all of them are taken, which completely sucks. So if you guys have any ideas on what my podcast name should be, give me some ideas down below because your girl definitely needs some. P.S. So random, but I think this is one of my favorite bullet journal setups I've made. I'm not a very spiritual person, if you guys know me, but I did grow up Seventh-day Adventist, and I grew up in a very Christian-based faith. I went to church every Saturday. If you guys don't know the difference between Seventh-day Adventists and regular Christians, we go to church on Saturdays, and we eat very, very healthy. We don't eat any meat. We eat whole grains, but my family didn't grow up that way, so I grew up kind of, this is so much information that you guys are not curious about, but I grew up following the Old Testament, which pretty much means you don't eat any animals that don't throw up or have split hooves. So I grew up not eating pork, and you also don't eat any shellfish. So you're allowed to eat any fish that has scales. So I couldn't eat catfish, but me being Asian, my parents did not exactly follow those rules, but I did grow up not eating pork. But besides the point, I wanted my podcast to be a form of therapy for me. Definitely bullet journaling for me is a form of therapy. I find it so therapeutic and so relaxing when I'm just coloring in my bullet journal. Even though my bullet journal takes me a full 2 days to just plan it all out. It is so fun for me, and I never would have guessed that I was a very artistic person until I started bullet journaling. And if you guys saw my January bullet journal till now, it's crazy how much I've progressed in the last 6 or 7 months. So yeah, if you guys want to watch me bullet journal in January, you'll see how much of a progression I've made since then. But yeah, I guess with my podcast that I want to start, I just want to talk about what's happening in my life. And right now I feel like with COVID happening, all of us are feeling really anxious. And I'm not gonna lie, I just went to Denver, Colorado with my boyfriend Matthew. If you guys didn't know, we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary. Matt and I have actually been talking about going to Denver, Colorado since we met. Matt used to live in Denver. He lived there for I think 2 or 3 years. I can't exactly remember, but he wants to buy a home in Colorado. And lately we've actually been talking about buying a home in Colorado in the next 2 years. Home prices have gone down a tiny bit because of COVID, and we were just like, okay, if we were to buy a house, which neighborhood would we buy in? And so over the last 6 months, we've actually been planning this trip for our 2-year anniversary. I honestly didn't think it was going to happen because of COVID, but we decided to be really safe about it. We decided that, hey, the best way to go there is to rent a car and get there, and we just did that, and it was so fun exploring the entire state of Colorado. We went to Breckenridge, we went to Boulder, we went to Denver, of course, we went to Golden, and I actually think Golden, Colorado is probably the cutest little town ever. The houses there are beautiful. There's like a river that just flows through the entire city, and there's a little creek, and we witnessed a bunch of families just taking their tubes down the river. And to me, that is just crazy because I grew up scared of water. I drowned when I was a child. Fun fact, my sisters and I all took a bath together with one of our girl cousins when I was probably 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5. But that was like a thing you did as a kid. Like your parents would have you like take baths with your like cousins and stuff, or at least in my family we did. So I was taking a bath with my sisters Teresa and Tammy. Tree is 2 years older than me, Tammy is 4 years older than me, and I think my cousin was maybe a year younger than me. Either way, there was 4 of us inside a bathtub, and my sister Tree sat on my face. Somehow she like sat on my face, and I literally drowned. Either way, I just remember my mom rushing in, pushing Tree out of the way and grabbing my hand and grabbing me out of the water. And that was my first experience being drowned. And because of that, I've been scared of the water. I can swim underwater, but I cannot for the life of me freaking swim on top of the water. Like I just can't tread water. I have to wear a life vest. I went to the beach recently, maybe a month ago. We found like this private beach in Malibu that Matt and I went to, and I literally almost drowned Matt because I had to be on Matt's shoulders. And fun random fact, when I was in high school, I was a sophomore and I wanted to learn how to swim finally. I was like, you know what? I need to face my fears. I'm like the person that forces myself to not be scared of anything. So when I was a sophomore, I decided I was going to join my high school swim team, and anyone who joins or auditions or tries out for my high school swim team makes the team, no matter if you can swim or not. So I automatically knew I was going to make the team, and the program at my school was actually really good. I think we're like one of the top swim teams in our little district, but they kind of let everyone who wanted to learn how to swim join the swim team in hopes that some of them would get really good. I remember my friend Rebecca, she did not know how to swim. She learned how to swim and became one of the best swimmers on the team, which was crazy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to swim finally. Your girl did not learn how to swim. I just remember there was like 3 of us that didn't know how to swim. We all just like hung out, laughed the entire time, and pretended we were swimming, but really we were like treading water or like had our tippy toes in the water. And I'm so short. I'm 5'2" and a half. People like to think I'm taller because I know my angles on Instagram. P.S. if you guys are wondering what I'm doing right now, I am doing tarot cards. I've kind of been obsessed with like tarot cards, and I really want to learn how to read tarot cards. But if you guys are wondering how I'm going to be tracking my habits in this little page, pretty much I wrote out my numbers in Roman numerals all around the tarot cards, and for every day I actually wake up at 9:30 a.m. or I actually don't play games on my phone, or I do my skincare at night, I'm gonna write a little dot on the outside edges, and hopefully all the dots are filled out. Either way, back to the story of me learning how to swim. I ended up never learning how to swim. I was so embarrassed that I didn't even show up to my swim team's picture day. So there's no like actual evidence that I joined my swim team, but I promise I did. And that freaking sucked. Yeah, I didn't show up to my swim team photos because I was embarrassed that I never once competed or even learned how to swim. I don't know why I tortured myself to thinking that I would be able to learn how to swim when A, I'm not a morning person, 2, my body can't self-regulate. I'm always too hot or too cold, and I'm hardly ever like happy with like my body temperature. So I don't know why I thought I would want to wake up at 5:45 a.m. to go to the pool, which is like 50 degrees, and learn how to swim in the middle of February, which is like the coldest month in Sacramento. Like, it sucks. So your girl never learned how to swim. But I think now that I've gotten older, I am a little bit more confident when it comes to swimming. Now, I don't think I would drown completely. I actually forced myself to learn how to hold my breath for 2 whole minutes. And the funny thing to learn how to hold your breath is you actually don't breathe through your nose. You breathe through your mouth. So you take a deep breath, and it should take you at least like a full like 10 seconds to like absorb all that air into your lungs. And then it's all a mental game. So learning how to hold your breath is just totally mental. You think your body wants to breathe when literally you can actually force your body to release more oxygen into your bloodstream after like the 4-minute mark. So your girl has not reached the 4-minute mark yet, but I'm currently at like 2 minutes and 14 seconds, which is insane. But I know if I was doing that underwater, I would probably freak out a little bit more. So it probably is only like a minute and a half of me like holding my breath. But I really want to learn how to swim. I think I'm going to be one of those parents that forces my kids to learn how to swim when they're like 4 months old. I remember there was like a TikTok recently of this little baby who was so cute, and she looked like she was maybe 7 weeks old, and she was learning how to swim, and a lot of people were kind of shaming the parents for teaching this little baby to swim, but she looked so comfortable swimming. I don't know, I just feel like people who like know how to swim and like dive off of mountains and cliffs are just such cool people. I've always wanted to learn how to surf, and Adeline and I, if you guys don't know her, Miss Adeline Morin, aka Girl Supporting Girls, Yellow Queen, we took surfing lessons together a few years ago. This was like one of our first memories together. I had met her, and 2 days later she invited me to like an overnight trip with her to go surfing, and I was like, crazy cool. But yeah, I completely freaked out the entire time. Maybe I'll put this story on my Instagram stories if you guys are curious, so go follow me at MissTiffanyMa. But yeah, going back to it, it was my 2-year anniversary with Matthew, and I completely fell in love with Colorado. I cannot wait to go back to Colorado. I don't suggest anyone to travel, especially if you think you have COVID. Matt and I luckily got a hold of some tests. In California, we actually have a surplus of tests, and if you guys want, I'll link down below a company that actually will send you a free COVID test. It's completely free. Even if you don't have health insurance, it's completely free. Matt and I took a test before then, and I actually just took another test today while I'm doing this voiceover. It is currently August 10th. I took another test because I wanted to make sure I didn't have COVID, because I am going to be hanging out with Lauren for her birthday. She's turning 27 tomorrow, and we all had plans to go to Palm Springs, and we all want to make sure that our little bubble is safe and free from COVID. And I'm so freaking excited about that because I can't remember the last time I hung out with my friends overnight. I think it might have been like Big Bear. As you guys know, like every single year, Asian Girl Squad and a bunch of our other YouTuber friends go to Big Bear for this like crazy vlogger trip, and it's been really fun. And Asian Girl Squad plus Alicia have been doing it for like 4 years now, and then Adeline took over. She now plans it every year, and I highly doubt it's gonna happen this year. So it's really exciting to just hang out with all of our friends for this weekend, and I wanted to double check that I didn't have any COVID. But yeah, that is it with my August bullet journal setup. Holy freaking cow, this was actually so fun and stress-free to film a podcast in my bullet journals. If you guys kind of like this concept where it's me just babbling about my life, then let me know down below. And honestly, this bullet journal setup was one of my favorite bullet journals I've ever freaking done. I really like how my mood trackers and my habit trackers turned out. I think they look so freaking cool. And I'm a big fan of my to-do list, where it's just one giant to-do list and a really simple, easy overview of what my week is gonna look like, because again, it's COVID. None of us have a lot of things to do. But yeah, let me know if I should start a podcast or not, because this was so much fun for me to film. Guys, that is it with today's bullet journal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Honestly, I'm so freaking proud of this bullet journal, and I just cannot believe how far I've gotten since starting my first spread in January till now. I've done a complete 180. My bullet journal game has glowed up, and I'm just really proud of myself. I hope you guys like this spread. Also, let me know down below what's your favorite page of the spread. I'm really curious. I honestly think this mood eye page is my favorite. Like, it's very like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Like, I want to just stare at it. it. But yeah, I'm really happy with all of my pages that I made for this month. Normally I don't like one of my spreads I make each month, and I'm pretty happy with every single one of my spreads. So yeah, if you guys want to see more bullet journals from me, let me know down below. I know these are not my most popular videos, so sometimes I'm like, do I even bother making these videos, because they do take me a full week to make. I'm not kidding when I say I spend at least 2 days filming my actual like bullet journal planning, and then I spend a day beforehand actually planning out my entire bullet journal, and then I spend at least 2 days editing and doing my voiceovers. So this is like a week-long process for me, and that means it's one whole week where I can't spend it on any other videos that you guys like more. So let me know if you guys like these videos. Also, if you guys made it to the end of the video, comment down below what's your eye color. I'm really curious. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Bye.
Hey, you the best part of every single day. Ooh, no matter what I do, I'll be lost in you.